Same thing. You'll kind of walk him up towards that way. When he gets in there, we'll pull him back. Smart boy.
He can sit.
Yeah.
You think he can smell it too?
I don't think he can smell it. I mean, just kind of sense. They kind of have that an intuition that something's not right.
Okay. Good boy. It's okay. Good truck, I can't stand. No, it's just it's okay. Good boy.
So, like, does it just shock him when it gets over, or if he keeps coming out, does it keep shocking him?
So there's a field. It's like a big, probably 10-foot field, and at different parts of the field, it's at different levels. So like right now, when he first gets in, it's kind of moderate, but if he continues forward, it gets stronger. But it would eventually stop. But I mean, he's not going to be going through.
So as he's getting close right here, he can kind of
Not yet. A little bit probably at the flags, or maybe a little bit inside of the flags is where the collar's going to pick up. So right where he's at, there's nothing going on right now.
Okay, because I noticed he was kind of like this, and he kind of like yawned and kind of looked back. Look.
So
Okay, come on, Kirsten. Try again.
okay, good.
Okay. Good boy. Good boy.
So
Good boy.
what you want to do is we just kind of want to walk back,
Okay.
kind of reset, and then approach it from another angle. And and I'll talk to you too. What you're going to do over the next week is each day. You can already tell if you watch it. What's his name? Carson. Carson, listen up. Carson. Back. So the sound has a pretty big effect on them. So that's what you guys are going to do for the first week. Is before they start off outside, you want to kind of let them hear it 3 or 4 times in a couple different places.
Okay.
And firmly tell them, hey, back.
But at the perimeter.
At the perimeter.
Okay.
So you're going to walk out here. In your backyard, you have really nothing to worry about because they can't, neither dog can jump over the fence. But in the front, you want to work with them a little bit more.
Okay.
And let's see if we can get him over here one time, even though I let him hear it. Just kind of walk him that direction. If you don't have to pull him into it. If you kind of want him to go his own way.
Like, I really want you to put me here.
You back up a little bit now. Yeah, as soon as he hears it,
He knows.
Yeah, the reason you have him on the leash at first is just kind of control.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they freak out and they don't know which way to go. You just want to control it. But once you know, and it's not a bad idea. Because they're animals and they're individuals as well. There's no like this is the exact way to train a dog because every dog is different. But with the dog, if they'll let you, if you want to tomorrow, like when you come out here, if you want to first let them hear it. You come out and you hold this. You can, since you have 2, you can use the other dogs. You want to do one at a time. Okay. And say, Carson, back. You can tell by his body language that he's like, oh no. then you kind of want to give it a little test with him by putting his collar on, kind of walking him around the perimeter.
Okay.
And then after that, you know, our experience and our goal is that, you know, day 1, day 2. Ooh, you okay, bud?
Hey.
Day 1, day 2, that they can be outside off leash, but for the first week, you're going to need to be out here monitoring them.
Yeah.
And what that means is by monitoring them is if they're out here and they're off leash, you need to be able to give them your focused attention because they do now, you do have like, you know how if your dog wants to run off and you're like, hey, come back, they look at you and they're like, you got nothing on me. Now your word has a firmness behind it, so you're able to kind of say, hey, Carson, listen, Carson, back. Good. Let's try down the driveway one time.
Okay.
Back up a little bit more.
Oh my gosh, there's You know what flag? Someone about crossing?
At this point, especially with him just moving in, I say we kind of just let him rest, and your backyard is really you're gonna let them loose and kind of keep your eye on them. But you know the idea is there's that fence there. They're not gonna have the ability to kind of sit in that uncomfortability and try to climb up. That's over.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.